Welcome everyone, your serious adult toy collector here with a serious review. Not something like, yeah, I'm a kid. Garbage that's out there. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is a Playmobil, and as usual, they don't really give you what this is, except for the line it's in. Noir. Which, so they don't tell you this is a skull head that's supposed to have a skull figure in it. If you can call anything from Playmobil a figure, but these look kind of cool in the ad, so I guess you're gonna find out if there's any validity to them. Here's the back of these things. It shows you kind of these cool skull figures, 12 characters to collect. Here's the UK importer. These are not really, these are made in Malta. Here we go. This is what I was trying to tell somebody. They have factories in 4 different countries, I believe. Czech Republic, Spain, and Malta for some reason. I'm sure they got paid to go there, or the usual German talking tool. So they're in Malta, and they have quite a few employees there. It's a big, probably one of the biggest business in Malta, if not the biggest. But look at these cool skull skeleton figures. Let's see if these even come close. Now, there was kind of a cool figure that they made with their other sets. This one, which I kind of like. See if we can get a... there we go. That's a cool figure, which shows you they kind of can make them if they want to. So the whole idea is that this. So let's take a look at this. What's nice is it has this kind of, they call these holographs or dimensional pictures on the top. That's a cool idea. I wonder who they stole that from. Here's the back idea. Here's all the things that go with this. You shouldn't do this if you're under 3 because there's choking hazards as usual. So let's open up this package right off the bat. And for some reason, I don't know what it is with a lot of things made in Germany that are skull-based. Considering there are people who have intimate knowledge of skulls, they had it on their uniforms and still do. So the whole idea is that, what a ugly looking skull. I mean, you know, it's nice to know that Playmobil is upholding their kind of goofy, stupid tradition of building things that don't look quite real. So look at this. I mean, they couldn't have made this whole bottle. You know, this is a company that sells $1 billion in toys a year. $1 billion. And they can't make a decent skull looking. I mean, this is a nice touch on the top, but why not make this into a tire skull? Don't get it. This is goofy. It's even, I don't know if that, is that supposed to be comical? I'm not really sure, but regardless of what their intentions of, that's a really bad skull. They could have made this whole thing out of a skull and it would have been much more impressive. Let's open this up. There's a lot of goofy stuff in here, apparently. And, you know, this is kind of waste products. I don't know why we need this. I think it's supposed to be sand or dirt. And this has, you know, no use. I mean, you can't play with this. They're trying to make an effect here. You know, we should be a little careful. Zuru did this with their giant eggs you open up, and you've got a giant bunch of trash, plastic trash left over. Let's be a little more careful here. I mean, this could be used as a little jar of some sort afterwards because it's a skull. Let me look here with... But, and it's messy. How nice. Just vacuumed here. And now I can clean up even further with some nice mess. And I thought there were more than one figure, but apparently there's, unless there's another bag in here, you've got this one figure, which we'll open up and look at. What is this in here? This is a... Basically, okay, it shows you the skull figures, which is kind of nice, so now you can kind of see what's out there if you want to try. But, you know, one of the problems with these mystery containers is that you never know what you're going to get. So you're going to ultimately buy, which is their plan, more than you need. And you're going to get doubles. Let's see here. So let's dump that out. Yeah, it's just a bunch of excess plastic to kind of create, I guess, what would be a dirt look. I mean, at the very least, they could make these things out of maybe corn or some other byproduct that is biodegradable. This is just plastic, and you only get one figure. You also get this in there. I don't know if this came from, I think this may have come from England, as this isn't available directly. Here's the other stuff here. I don't know what those mountains in the back there. It looks like Monument Valley in the United States. I don't know, that's supposed to be some scary place. So that's the container here. And let's look at this a little bit. I mean, this should help people figure out if they want to get more of these. You've got kind of this archer. That guy's a prisoner, Viking. Looks like an Anglo-Saxon more type of a warrior. A dark skeleton, and what is he holding there? A flag? Dark skeleton holding some sort of other thing with a shield. An axe guy. Another kind of Viking guy holding what looks... Oh, I guess that's a gladiator holding a net. This guy's holding a torch. Looks more like a pirate. This more looks like a skeleton king. And here's like, I don't know if a mummy comes with this. And on the back here we see it starts to detail exactly what this is. 12 characters to collect. And you have to buy 25 to get them all, because you have to buy stuff you don't even know what's inside of them. And of course you got that top, which is kind of nice. You got that ugly container. And of course, you know, they love to give codes like that means anything to anybody. Let me look on the package here. Here's the actual figure that came here. You can look at that while I'm looking. If there's some sort of code on this one. Okay. Here's the code on the top here. If you go to a store or something and you're looking for figures, this code may help you. This is the basic product code. I believe that's it. 752 and 01. Could that mean this figure? Do the other ones mean anything else? So that may be something you look at, and you know, you can figure this out in the stores and stuff. You go in there and look at these different codes, you can make sure you're not getting the same product. So make note of that, so you don't spend extra money on stuff you can't use. This seems to be the prisoner guy. And let's open this up here. Take a look at this. So this is the prisoner guy, which is this guy right here with the red hat, but he doesn't have a red hat in person, apparently. Doesn't seem to be a hat with this at all, unless it's stuck in the container still, or at least I think something dropped. I'm going to try and look for it, but let me get what we can together here. And of course he has these actual handcuffs here. Drop that over here. Apparently it has this kind of head on it, which is some red highlights. And then they give you this head, which is more traditionally skull-like. Now, let me see if this comes off. It appears to come off, so you can take off that other head and put on something that's Yeah, there we go. That's more traditionally skull. I like that better because it's not as silly. It almost looks like the arms bend, but they don't in terms of in the center here. They have the usual articulations. The hands turn a little bit, the head turns, and the arms, of course, go up and down here. And it has the usual setup for the Playmobil retarded zombie figure, bad engineering that you get in all Playmobil stuff in terms of their figures in particular. So there's no extra articulation. I mean, for Playmobil figure, this is a pretty cool one. And of course, we don't have that retarded head. One of the problems is that all Playmobil figures, the feet are too small. So they always fall over very easy. The minute you start to put anything in their hands, you immediately have trouble with them falling over. So that's just par for the course of all Playmobil figures, even if they didn't look silly. Which they do, of course. So let's assemble this somewhat. So again, you have this. You've got this extra head here. And I don't know if this can be put on something else or some other of their figures. I don't know. We'll check into that. And as I said, the feet are always best. So if you just tap these things or shake it a little, you're going to have problems. This goes over this piece, which holds the hands together as a large type of handcuffs. And then it has other cuffs between it. So this goes like this. Okay. Let's take a look at this figure again. There's, I can't seem to find that chain. And now that I'm looking at it, the chain goes over to the head, which appears to be some sort of glow-in-the-dark. The head I put on here is where the chain goes to. Of course, I'm not going to, and I still don't see a red hat anywhere, and I don't think I lost that, but I dropped the other little piece that goes on here that goes to a ball and chain. But I think everybody gets the idea. You see that from the picture. I'm not going to have a figure like that anyway. I like this figure just the way it is here with the more proper skull head and the just like this. And I don't need to have the chain aspect that this is some sort of prisoner thing. And let me show you that again. As I said, I don't know where the red hat is. The chain I had, but I now can't find it. But I wouldn't use that anyway. I don't like all these little extra things. They all tend to get lost and pushed around. I just like the figures themselves. But looking through these figures, at least they're fairly cool skeleton-type figures. Some of them have goofy aspects of Playmobil. Other ones don't, like this stupid hat here on this guy that makes him look like a cone head. Some of the other figures are cool. This is kind of a cool one here with the... and these are supposed to, or at least some of it appears to maybe be glow-in-the-dark, but I'm not sure. Because it seems to be that color, but it doesn't look like they actually will. It doesn't really say that on here as that figure. You do get this kind of cool container, but as you said, they could have made this better by making it a whole skull instead of just a kind of a front on here that doesn't look good. I've got certain bottles that were made in Germany that have the same kind of silly front face on it. Seems to be a way they mold things here, but that's bad molding, it's bad engineering, it's bad everything. The top's kind of cool a little bit. So you've got this little plastic container, which I guess you can use for other things. It's, what's that, about 4 inches? 4 inches deep, so you could put things in there. You could keep the top off of it and put pencils or something in here. But you could use this as a general container for anything you kind of like. It is a nice little plastic container, and the top does screw on it good, so whatever you put in there is not going to fall out. As I said, this junk that you get here is just a waste. Just stuff that I'm going to throw in the trash here. And I don't see any reason for that. That must be, as I said, to simulate dirt or something. I don't quite understand that. But you just don't need it. So let's take a look at this figure one more time up close. And I said the typical articulation, the hands go up and down, the head moves a little, and the arms go up and down, the hands move sideways. It's the same. You can sit this like with all figures that you get from Playmobil. And let's take a look at the back. The back is just plain like they do with most of their figures. To save money, there's nothing on the back. Let me sit there and let that camera get it in there. So one of the problems is to be careful not to do things too quickly, because the camera has to catch it, and of course you have to see it. You know, I see it and say, oh gee, I see it. But that's not really how it works when you're taking a video. So this way you'll get a better... You don't want to jump around too much, which I've done in a lot of other videos as I get accustomed to this type of filming. So as I said, that's one of the figures. This is the prisoner type figure, and I'll show you this quickly again. So you may see some figures you like, and I did give you the codes. If you want to go in a store and look at them and try and figure out, by using my code, then you'll figure out which one of that is actually this prisoner type thing, and either avoid it or get it if you want it, or what other codes there. Anybody who can get codes and leave it in the description down below to help others, well, that would be greatly appreciated. The whole idea is not to waste a bunch of money getting double figures, which is what the companies want. We want to... You know, as I said, I don't like these blind packages. They're a lot of fun, but they're not cheap. And you're getting whatever they want to give you, and what people end up getting is 2 and 3 of items, which you really don't need. So hopefully you've enjoyed all this, and you know how to find this particular figure right now. And I don't know if I can get more of these or not, but it was interesting because I wanted to check out this particular type of skeleton figure from Playmobil.